Hi everyone. This is the Alternative Facts team coming at you from Sitecore Hackathon 2017, and we have built ChatOps with Sitecore, an Azure PaaS module. So we're really excited to participate in this year's hackathon. We're coming into the final hour, just about to cross the finish line, but we just want to say thanks to everyone out there involved in organizing and judging the event. We really appreciate your guys' work on this. So a little bit about what we've built here. So we've created a chatbot designed to help Sitecore developers and operation teams monitor and interact with their Sitecore environments. The goal was to develop an MVC minimal viable chatbot to demonstrate a number of interesting concepts, such as a natural language interface to help remove the barrier of remembering very specific syntax, as well as the ability to query your Azure Applications Insights data warehouses to understand the current state of your Sitecore environments, both logs and performance metrics. And finally, the ability to interact directly with your Sitecore instances running on Azure Application Services. So let's take a peek at our chatbot architecture. So we've made use of a few key technologies, including Microsoft Bot SDK, the Lewis AI, or formerly known as the Lewis Cognitive Services API, and Azure Application Insights, which is tied into our Sitecore PaaS instances, which we'll see. So if you take a look at the diagram on the right, what we have here is we have our bot emulator channel, which is used as the interface between the human interactive user and our bot SDK. And in the future, we might have Skype, Slack, or Kik channels with which to communicate to our bot service. And we use Microsoft Bot Connector service to integrate those channels with our chatbot. And now our chatbot uses the Bot Builder SDK and communicates directly to the Lewis Cognitive Services. That allows us to perform natural language queries and analysis on user requests, which we then send off after parsing it to Azure Insights. And that's where we gather telemetry on our Sitecore instances running in Azure. All right, so let's take a look at how we can get you guys set up with our Sitecore chatbot. So we're looking at our GitHub repo. This is Valier Sitecore-chatbot. And you can go ahead and click on the clone or download button here. And I'd recommend copying this and just doing a direct clone in your favorite Git terminal. Once you've got that checked out, you'll be able to open up your Visual Studio instance, and you should see two projects here. We've got our Sitecore.chatbot, that's our primary chatbot project hosting the actual chatbot API. And we've also got our Sitecore.chatbot.services project, and this is a module that you can install on your Sitecore instances, which will allow you to use the chatbot essentially as a command and control server. And we can take a look at that a little bit later. And finally, to tie this all together, there's also the ChatBot emulator, which, as you can see here, basically allows you to enter in an endpoint and test out your chatbot. So we'll take a look at how that works and how you can use it to test out our Sitecore chatbot. So first things first, we want to get you up and running as quickly as possible, so you can go ahead and just build your Visual Studio solution. And it should download some of the NuGet packages that are required. And once that's done, you can go ahead and press Control F5. And you'll notice that that should pop up a window pointing to your local host running on, for me, port 3979. And you can go ahead and copy that and paste that into your chatbot framework channel emulator. And you'll notice here I've got HTTP localhost 3979 as the port /API/messages. And that's the endpoint we want to hit to test our chatbot. Now, there are also two other keys here that we need to include in order to successfully connect to our chatbot. There's the Microsoft App ID and there's the Microsoft App Password. Both of these settings are included inside of the Visual Studio Solutions chatbot project under the web config. You'll notice there are a few application settings here which we use, and you can go ahead and copy those and use them directly inside of the chatbot emulator in order to get set up. Once you're ready and you've copied those values, you can go ahead and click Connect. And what you'll notice is down here in the bottom right corner of the log, you'll see a couple 200 post conversation updates occur. When you see that, you know you're good to go, and you can start testing out your bot. So let's dig into some of the key features of our chatbot here. We've developed three distinct modules as part of the functionality of the chatbot. Those three include on-demand key metrics, as well as a natural language querying and filtering capability, and finally the ChatBot production configuration management subsystem. So let's go to these in order, and let me show you what you can do here. So I'm just going to say hi to my chatbot, and it's going to do some thinking here, spin up, and then it's going to say, "Hi, my name is Sitecore ChatOps. Why don't you ask me a question?" So here it's just randomly telling you a few of the things it can do and suggesting a few questions you can ask. So let's take a look at our on-demand key metrics. So I'm going to ask ChatBot, show me my daily stats. And that'll think for a moment. That's going to go out to App Insights, and it's going to return to me the daily statistics for my Sitecore instance running in Azure. So you can see here, I've got 217 exceptions in the last 24 hours, 4,112 requests in the last 24 hours, and 270 Sitecore cache clears in the last 24 hours. All of these key metrics are coming from my Sitecore application hosted in Azure. And you can see here we set up an entire Azure environment called Hackathon 2017, and it's currently getting a few requests, and all of those metrics are coming out of the Application Insight service hosted as part of our Hackathon Sitecore resource group. So let's take a look at our second module, the natural language query and filtering capabilities we've built into the chatbot. So if we go back to our emulator window, I can start asking natural language questions here for things like the total number of requests over the last 5 days. So I can say, hey, show me the total count of requests, just in total. And that'll go off to Application Insights, and it's going to tell me, hey, there have been 1,549 requests to the server. Great, okay, so what if I want to do something a little more complex? What if I want to see the total number of failed requests from the last 3 hours, let's say? I'll say, show me the total failed request count for the last 3 hours. And there we go. There have been 794 requests to the server in that requested time frame that have failed. Great, okay. What else can we do? So we've also built in the capability to query Application Insights for the total log count for all the different severity errors. So I can say, hey, show me the error log count. And this should tell me how many errors we have in production right now. 33 error log entries. Okay, so what else can I do? Well, I can ask our Sitecore chatbot to also show me exceptions for failed requests in general. And what we do is we aggregate the number of exceptions and their total counts here in this nice little markdown. Okay, so let's talk about the third module that we've developed, using our chatbot as a production configuration management service. So one of the things we can do, and one of the things we've developed for our MVP, is the ability to query the servers for their current log level. So I can say, hey, what's my current log level at? And what we should see is it's going to tell me our log level is currently set to fatal. Okay, great. Well, what if I don't want it at fatal? What if I want to switch that? Historically, you would go onto the server and you would recycle the app pools due to a configuration change. But with our chatbot, you can say, hey, switch or change my log level to info. And it's going to go off and it's going to go ahead and change our Sitecore's log level to info. No application pool recycle required. So that's our chatbot in a nutshell, and you guys will have full access and are more than welcome to play around with our Sitecore Azure instance. Go ahead and make it crash and make it burn, and then go ahead and check out the application insights and ask our Sitecore chatbot how the site's doing. And in case you're curious, just before I leave you guys, here is the Lewis Cognitive Services dashboard, and so you can see all of the intents that we created for this chatbot. It's a really flexible and highly configurable system. It's great for mapping very fuzzy natural language queries to specific intents, which we can then map off to application insights. But this kind of just gives you a taste for what we've developed today and where we could potentially go in the future. So this is just one small step for Valir in on the road to changing the world for DevOps everywhere. Thank you.